Is Dr. Abel Damina doing too much? This is the type of allegation and accusation leveled against those who preach the gospel and the preaching of the gospel itself. Two things stand out from the comment that you're seeing on this post right now. Number one, this person that commented this said, I started out in 2000. And then when you read down where he came to your blah blah blah, bro Abel refuted, and then he's not doing it in love, he's doing it in the extremes. I want to start first of all with that statement you made, which is you started out in 2000. You started preaching the gospel before Dr. Abel Damina, and people like me did not hear the gospel. He didn't shake the word. You know why? Because you were preaching it with laziness. You were preaching the gospel with laxity, and God was tired of you. God knew if he left the gospel in your hands, people like me, the world, Nigeria, will not hear the gospel. So he had to pick a zealous man like Dr. Abel Damina to preach the gospel, because he knows that his heart is pure. Whatever passion he had then was only directed wrongly, and if only he will encounter the true gospel, he will run with it with the speed he's running it with, and sooner or later the gospel will spread to the whole nations. You are the type of people that preach the gospel trying to please men. You sugarcoat the gospel with words, sweet words. No, the gospel is not to be sugarcoated. The gospel is to be released directly the way it is. The message is very simple. I do not know why people hate the light. You were looking at people's faces, and God cannot work with you that way. God needed people with a sense of urgency, because what is happening in the church of God is urgent for God to intervene. The people have long been deprived of a very cordial and very true relationship with God. And even Jesus is not seen in his own church. So he wants to do what? To come and take back his church. God cannot work with you. That's why he bypassed you for somebody that is vigorous, that is rigorous, that is passionate, that is zealous, and can run with the gospel, that is not afraid and not looking at the faces of men to please. Have you ever found a thief in your house and started to, negotiate with the thief whether he will leave you or not, when you know you have what it takes to take the thief out of your house? A thief is a thief. You cannot be loving a thief and you are allowing him to keep destroying lives and things. You cannot do that. You cannot afford such luxury because you want to love a thief. We chase thieves out. And by the way, what do you even call love? Most times, love is firm. Love is active. Love is strong. Love is quick sometimes, because if you don't act quick, you are going to lose a lot. Can I tell you something? God is losing men to these bandits. God is losing men. Have you known the number of young people that have left the church because of these pulpit bandits? If you knew, you will know that Dr. Abel Damina needs to add more pressure. My brother, we have not even started. We are just warming up. So my brother, it is not time to be gentle. So we are not going to massage anybody's ego and pride because we don't want them to be hurt. We don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want to hurt their ego. And we don't preach the gospel. Paul said, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. And Paul said, I do not please men. We are not men pleasers. No, we are not here to please you. We are pleasing God. And as long as God is pleased, that is what matters. This is not even about those that feel attacked. We are preaching to save everyone, including the ones that have carried this wrong message, because most of them carried it just like Dr. Abel Damina carried it before. Most of them carried it in ignorance. You further wrote in this comment that this message is irrelevant, that there's no accomplishment, there is no change. My brother, how blind can you be? Can't you see that pastors hardly preach without mentioning Abel Damina, invariably advertising him, and by advertising him, advertising the gospel? So my brother, is either you're blind or you are lying again. This message is having impact. It changed me. And I've had testimonies around me, before me, about me. In fact, Muslims are coming to the knowledge of this light. Glory. I'm excited and people are excited. My darling, there is global impact. There is change, there's revolution. If you can't see it, it's either you are blind. Pray for God to open your eyes. In fact, you can see it, you are just denying. Now, in this comment, you also said he is doing it in extremes. Extremes? Extremes? My brother, do you know how extreme these pulpit bandits have gone and are still going? Let me show you just how extreme these pulpit bandits have gone. And if it takes going to that same very extreme and even beyond, we will go there to save people and to retrieve what has been lost over the years. Yes, so we will go. We have not even started. If you call this extreme, that means we will go beyond it. Let me show you just how extreme these people has been. These thieves has been. Did you know that these people went to the extent of saying that Jesus died because he did not pay tithe? So tithe is bigger than God. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. These are the same people that say that Job became poor because he refused to pay tithes. These people have not only stolen the people's money with lies and deceit, they steal the people's thinking faculty. Can't you see that these people have gone to the extreme? They have stolen their sense of reasoning. So we cannot back down, my dear. We cannot back down. In the words of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, as long as we refuse to untie the knot of injustice, peace cannot thrive. In my own words, I add, when we fail to uphold justice and truth, in this instance, truth of God's word, real peace cannot thrive. So my brother, in the pursuit of peace, we will not trash the truth. The truth is first of all before peace, because there is no real peace outside the truth. We will preach the gospel, we will preach it. I told you we are just warming up. You should be thanking Dr. Abel Damina for making a U-turn. It's not easy, you know, and correcting himself, even when he knows that he's going to be persecuted. Even when he knows he will face backlash, he still decided to move on. This is the reason why some people have not started preaching the gospel. Some people have this conviction inside of them. They know the truth, but they cannot. They have not found the boldness. But this man has disregarded everything that it will cost him. Went ahead and preached the gospel. He deserves your encouragement, not your backlash. I'm not done with how these pulpit bandits, how extreme they have gone. They have 7 good strategies. Now, this is the place you need to get your pen and paper and write down these strategies.